Brother, read that one more time.
A sinful man will not be reproved,
A sinful man will not be reproved,
but findeth an excuse according to his will.
All right, so when you meet people and you try to talk to them about this truth, and they got an excuse for everything, it's time to move on. Like you casting your what? Pearls before swine. You might as well leave them alone, because the more you try to talk to them, the more they're going to get aggravated. And then you're going to get frustrated because all you're trying to do is help them. So you might as well leave them alone. All right? Because, again, we have no excuses for why we can't keep the law. Christ brought truth to the law. And what? Mercy. And what? Grace. So we have a time period from when Christ died till now to get everything together. All of us within this time frame. Because when Christ dropped, when he dropped down and he come back, when he make his grand entrance, it's going to be too late to be trying to keep the laws. Just like if you die, you can't, well, I ain't know. The Most High going to look at you and like, you had the book right there. You didn't see it. You didn't want to see it because you seen it. All right. All right, let's go to Proverbs 28, verses 4 through 9. 4 and 9.
Book of Proverbs chapter 28 verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
They that forsake the law praise the wicked.
What?
They that forsake the law praise the wicked. But such as keep the law contend with them.
See, that's what we do. We contend with the wicked. All right, we fight with them. We're not happy or have no place amongst them as far as alliances. Like we contend with the wicked because we know that the wicked is, as long as we being wicked and as far as a nation, we can't rise. All right, we got to come together and seek the Most High. All right, and seek that covenant. All right, go ahead. Go to verse 9.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
Even your prayer shall be an abomination. The Most High don't want to hear you. You're not even trying to keep his commandments. Christ said, if you don't keep the ways of my Father, I don't know you. All right, so we think Christ is supposed to what? Be an intercessor for us. When we ask for something, we're supposed to ask for it in his name. So he said, if you don't keep the law, if you don't keep my commandments, I can't help you. If you keep my commandments, you love me. All right, if you love me, then you love the Father. We read it earlier. Christ was bringing truth to what we're reading right here. All right. So let's go to Luke 4, verses 6 through 7. And we're probably about to read the same thing. We're going to read it again.
Book of Luke chapter 4 verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, and shall be thine, all shall be thine.
Read that again, bro.
I'll read verse 6 again.
Mm-hmm.
And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
All right, go to verse. Keep going.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Yasharahla answered and said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only shalt thou serve.
All right, so this is showing you that what? This is showing you that, again, you have no excuse. Even Christ was telling Lucifer, I don't care what you offer me. I can't worship you. All right, it's a commandment from the Most High that I can't worship another God. So Yasharahla, he fought with who? With Lucifer according to the law. Ooh. So he boom. I can't do that because Ahayah said I can't what? Worship another God. You know that. Bringing truth and understanding. With the Torah and with the Gospels. All right, so let's go to Proverbs 8 and 13. Proverbs 28 and 13.
Book of Proverbs chapter 28 verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
He that covereth his son No, he that covereth his sins shall not prosper.
So if you cover your sins, you won't prosper because you're trying to hide stuff. You remember when we went into baptism, you know, that spirit of chicanery and trickery, all right, and deception. All right, we went into those 7 spirits. All right, a lot of us do that. We try to hide our sins. All right, from the Most High and from others. Go ahead.
He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
So if you what?
For whoso confesseth and forsaketh them.
So you remember, you hear people, they pray all the time and they be like, Ahayah, forgive me for my sins. All right, but it says if you confess and forsake them, that means you got to stop doing them. Like if you do something, if you have an issue and you're trying to get rid of it, you can't do it every day. It might come back around next month. It might come back around 6 months from now. It might come back around a year from now, maybe 5 years from now. You might have a relapse. All right. But you pray and you trying to cease from that thing. The Most High is helping you get rid of that. You showing him that you trying your best to get rid of urges from your old life. All right. Because all of us out here that have repented and truly repented, we still all fight with things that we was dealing with when we was younger. All right, because we've been in the truth for probably what, 4 or 5 years. Some of us 7 years. Some of us 10 years. Some people might be 15, 20 years. But as far as the life that you had before, all right, it was 30, 40, 25. It was a long time. 15. All right, that again. That's not an excuse, because we just talked about not having an excuse for being lawless. All right, but you have to forsake those sins to get forgiveness. All right, read it one more time, bro.
He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
All right, so you have to confess and forsake them, and then the Most High will have mercy on you. All right, that's repentance. All right, let's go to Matthew 19, 16 through 19. Verses 16 through 19.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
He said, what?
Why callest thou me good?
Go ahead.
There is none good but one.
There's what? None good but one.
That is Ahayah.
That is Ahayah, the one that created the commandments. Yasharahla didn't create them. Ahayah created them. Go ahead.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
See, if you shall enter into life and get salvation, you have to keep the commandments. Yasharahla is telling people this while he was walking on the earth. All right. You finished 19?
Verse 19.
All right.
Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Did you read 18, bro? I'm sorry.
Oh, 18. My bad. He saith unto him, which Yasharahla said, Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
All right, so he didn't have to say nothing about the Sabbath or keeping the Most High verse and not dealing with idolatry, because that was obvious. All right, back in those days. All right, but he went through the moral laws. When it comes to conducting yourself amongst your brethren. All right, because that's what we've always had an issue with that. All right, so let's go to Deuteronomy 6, verse 24 through 25. What is righteousness? Because you have a lot of people that say they're righteous, but what is it? All right, Deuteronomy 6, 24 through 25. You can go ahead, bro. I'm getting there.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 24. And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Most High our power, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day.
He what? Start at the beginning.
And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes to fear the Most High our power, For our good always.
For our good always. So keeping the law is the best thing for your life. All right, go ahead.
That he might preserve us alive.
That he might, keeping the law keep you alive. Believe it or not, if you keep these laws, you will have a longer life span. All right. If you keep the dietary laws, you ain't putting bad stuff in your body, so that means your body's gonna what? It's gonna last longer. All right. This is your spirit is inside of this. All right. This is like a car. If you keep this car, if you keep the oil change and put good oil in it, you know, put good antifreeze in your car, don't it last long? Don't it last for like 300, 400,000 miles? Yes. You gotta keep the oil changes on it. Get the car wax. Take care of it. All right, go ahead.
Verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments.
It shall be our what?
Our righteousness.
It shall be our righteousness. So that's what righteousness is, when you keeping the commandments. Go ahead.
It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, as he had commanded us.
All right. So let's go to 1 Timothy. All right. So we're going to go to the New Testament and talk about righteousness. All right.
It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 9. Oh, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
The law is what?
Not made for a righteous man.
Go ahead.
But for the lawless and disobedient.
All right, so it says the law is not made for a righteous man. Who is righteous? I don't know, not one. Even Christ said there's not one that's good, but he that is what? In heaven. He said, you can't call me good. All right, so we all need the law. This is what's being transferred from Paul to Timothy. Go ahead.
Knowing this,
that
the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient,
which we all are. Go ahead.
For the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, and men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine.
All right, so we gotta have the law, y'all. All right, it says, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man. All right, none of us are righteous. All right, none of us can say that we keep the law 100%. We can't say that. It says, but for a lawless and disobedient, and for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and the sinners, for unholy and profane murderers of fathers, and such and such and such and such. Some of us, we do that. We've been murderers. We lie. Like to this day, you probably still, if you keeping the law right now, you're an Israelite. You done told somebody that lie. You told somebody, hey, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. And they be like, boy, I can't make it today. And then you have to call that person to ask for what? Forgiveness. You know you can't keep that behavior up, because that person is not gonna what? Think you're a credible person. All right, this is something simple. All right, whoremongers. You got brothers that's in the truth as keeping these laws. They're still dealing with. They still a whoremonger. They still whores. All right, you got sisters out there still doing the same stuff too. All right. So, we all have done contrary to the law. All right. So we can't say we're righteous. All right. So let's go to John, chapter 9, verse 39 through 41.
The book of John, chapter 39. John chapter 9, verse 39. And Yasharahla said, for judgment I am come into this world.
For what?
For judgment I am come into this world.
For judgment he have come into the world. Go ahead.
That they which see not might see.
For what?
For they which see not might see.
All right, so we were in the past we couldn't see nothing. So it's because of Christ we see. Go ahead.
And that they which see might be made blind.
What?
And that they which see might be made blind.
Go ahead.
And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words, and said unto him, Are we blind also? Yeshua said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, We see, therefore your sin remaineth.
So there's no righteous. Like Christ pretty much put it in like a riddle or something. But he's letting them know that you're not righteous. You're not righteous. We all need the law. Even you that try to make people keep the law, you're not righteous. Is the Sadducees and the Pharisees, the Sadducees and the Sadducees, I can't even get it out. The scribes and all of them. Yeah. All right, I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. But they all were sinners, but they walked around with their outer garments and their with their fringes and everything on, and their ephods, the nice clothes, and they thought because what they had on that they were righteous. No, they were filthy, just like the rest of the children of Israel. All right, so let's go to Romans 3, chapter 3, verse 31.
Yes, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Do we then make void the law through faith? Ahayah forbid.
Oh, so Ahayah forbid. We can't get rid of the law. All right, just because of faith. All right. Let's see. Go to Romans 6, verses 14 through 15.
The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
So we're not under law, but under grace. Go ahead.
What then? Shall we sin?
Shall we sin? Go ahead.
Because we are not under the law, but under grace? Ahayah forbid.
All right, so we cannot sin. Go ahead.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey?
All right, so again, remember we talked about this before, and I was elaborating. All right, all the gods have what? Any deity that you worship has rules. So whoever you yield yourself to, you're gonna follow their rules. So if you yield yourself to sin, you're gonna follow the rules of Lucifer. He's gonna make a mockery out of you. He's gonna have you out there whopping and dropping, eating all type of profane food, and kissing men and all this type of girl and girl. You look at that. I mean, look at the BET Awards this year. That's what Paul is talking about. Whoever you give your members to, they're gonna use them. Just like I tell my daughter now, I said, if you don't follow the instructions that I give you, somebody else is gonna use you. They're gonna use your brain. A spirit will get in you and use you. When you don't keep the law, you lose your life. That's what keep us alive. That's what keep that light burning in us. All right, let's go to speaking of that, read 15 again. 14 to 15 again.
14. For sin shall not have dominion over you.
All right.
For ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Ahayah forbid.
All right, let's go to Jude right quick. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Verse 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, and denying the only most high power and our Lord Yeshua Christ. All right, hold right there. So you have people out here turning what? Grace into lasciviousness. Like we read earlier when Paul said, shall we sin because faith is, because we're dealing with faith or we're dealing with grace? Ahayah forbid. We can't do that. The law still stands. All right, a grace period is just a grace period. You have time to get yourself together. Like we deal with grace all the time. Somebody
You loan somebody some money, you be like, hey, bro, you got until October to pay me back. He don't pay you back, then what? It's a consequence. Just like when Christ come back or when you die. Depending on what your recompense is to the Most High is what you get. Your recompense is payback. All right, for those that don't understand that term. All right, so let's get back to it, y'all. Let's go to Exodus 20, verse 1 through 7. Now we're finna go into the moral law. All right, the moral law. All right, the moral and civil law. All right.
So the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 1. And Ahayah spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power.
This is Ahayah speaking from Mount Sinai. Go ahead.
I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Number one, this is how we deal with Ahayah. This is how we have a personal relationship with Ahayah. We cannot have no gods before him. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
We can't make any engraven images. So if you got engraven images in your house, get them out. All right. Of course, you're going to say, well, I don't bow down to them. But those images, you bought them for a reason. You have a relationship with those images. Get rid of them. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
So anything in creation, you cannot make an image of it. So you can't be having stars in your house. You can't be having clouds. You can't even worship clouds. You know, fishes, elephants, wolves. You can't have none of that stuff in your house. Even a lion. Some of us are fascinated with lions because we know that's a symbol that represents Israel. But hey, that's you. I ain't no engraven images. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous power.
Go ahead.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
All right, so if you do this, we went into this before, you will curse your family for what, 200 years. Everybody behind you will be cursed for 200 years. So if your children continue that pattern, that's another 200 years. All right, so you wonder why we in the circumstances that we in. It's because our people were most likely dealing with idolatry in the past. All right, so if you're a Mason, or if you're dealing with a fraternity or sorority, you dealing with what? With the Most High telling you not to deal with. So you cursing your family. Ain't no way around it. I don't care what's some good in there and there's some bad. If it's some bad in there, you can't. Well, you dealing with how many shades of gray? Because you're dealing with how gray are you? I heard of 50 shades. What, you 33 shades? 32 shades? 14 shades of gray? Come on, bro.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain.
All right, so we done went through this. Keep going.
For the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
All right, don't be using his name saying he gonna do something he ain't never told you that. There ain't nobody talking to him. Go ahead.
That's it.
Went through 7. All right, let's go to Matthew 22, verse 37 through what? 38. All right, so now we're gonna read what Christ said. He pretty much saying the same thing. He just simplifying it, bringing truth and understanding, because everybody in Israel or everybody in Judea understood what we just read. They knew this stuff. They read it every week in the temple. All right, go ahead, read that, bro.
Book of Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. So 37. Yasharahla said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart.
So we gotta love him with all our heart. So we can't have any other gods before him. Go ahead. We can't make any graven images. Go ahead.
And with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment.
All right, so we have to love the Most High with all our heart. All right, the Most High is telling you how to do that. You can't put any other gods before him. All right, you can't use his name in vain, and you can't make yourself any engraven images. All right. Go back to Exodus. We're going to go back to Exodus 20 and 8.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Yes. Keep going.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
All right, so 6 days thou shalt labor and do thy work. All right, so for people out there that try to say that, you know, I can pick any day I want to pick. No, you can't. Because one week you're going to pick Thursday. The next week you're going to pick Monday. Have you worked 6 days and rest for 7 days? If you just pick any day, you're off. And it ain't Sunday. It ain't Tuesday. It's Saturday. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Yep.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
All right, so the Most High, if he rested, and he, you know, he was just doing all the thinking. All right, what makes you better than him? That you don't need a day of rest. But we know one day with the Most High is what? 1,000 years. So to us, when the Most High rested, 1,000 years passed. Only one day went by for him, and like that. Hey, that's just how it is, you know. All right, but we must follow what? We must follow Ahayah. We must follow, of course, our King Yasharahla. But we gotta follow Ahayah. Ahayah saying, "This is what I did, so you do it." So you mean to tell me that you that important that you don't have to do what Ahayah tell you to do? An example that he put in place for you? You are crazy in your mind. All right, that's why he can't. That's why he not dealing with you. It's that simple. Go to Isaiah 58, verse 13 to 14.
Isaiah 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
All right, so to not do your own thing, go ahead.
And call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Most High, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways,
yes,
nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Most High, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father, for the mouth of the Most High has spoken it.
All right, so if we keep the Most High Sabbath, all right, and you know, get away from doing our own pleasure, the Most High said that he will allow us to ride on high. All right, not on high, but we would inherit the inheritance of Jacob, which is the kingdom. All right, so the Sabbath is extremely important. It's not something that we should just play with. All right, because it's how the Sabbath has, it's our relationship between the Most High. All right, because the Most High wants us to rest on that day. All right, and we can't have any pleasure. That means if you're married out there, you can't be consummating on that day. You know, you can't have any pleasure. You need to stay away, husband and wife, from each other. All right, that's the Most High's day. All right, you shouldn't fast on that day. If you're gonna fast on the other days, on the other 6 days. That day right there belongs to the Most High. All right. So let's go to where we going now? All right, so let's go to Exodus 20 and 12.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother.
All right, so we're supposed to honor thy father and thy mother. So now we're talking about the relationship that we're supposed to have amongst our parents. Go ahead.
That thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
So if you want to live long, you got to honor your earthly father and mother. All right, so you have to honor your earthly father. There's so many of us out there that dishonor our father because America tell us to do so. All right, and we'll read that scripture like in the past. Like most people will they'll read that scripture backwards and say, honor thy mother and thy father. You're supposed to honor your father first, then your mother. Because if you honor your father, you're going to honor your mother. Because you're going to keep his instruction. Because your father's going to make sure you respect your mother, right? He ain't going to have you doing it. Same, it's vice versa. In a lot of scenarios, it's the same. All right, excuse me. All right, so let's go to Proverbs 23, verse 24 and 25.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 24. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice.
Keep going.
That's 25.
That's 25? Okay. All right, let's go to Proverbs 30 and 17. So if you do what's right, your parents will rejoice over you. But you have to honor them. All right? And honoring them comes with a lot of different things. Honoring your parents is following their instruction, because if you have righteous, or I don't even want to say righteous, if you have parents that seeking righteousness, all right, they're gonna give you the instructions that's in this book. So you should follow what they're telling you. All right? Because if you go away from their instruction, you're gonna be lost out here in this world. You're gonna end up in a pigsty somewhere. And then you're gonna crawl back and be like, you was right. But you don't have to live hard and then find out the hard way. You can just do what your parents telling you, and you can live a good life, because they made mistakes. They want to make sure you don't make the same ones. Those parents out there that love you. All right, go ahead.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 17. The eye that mocketh at his father.
The eye that what?
That mocketh at his father, and despise to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it.
All right, if you mock your father, because a lot of us, when we get older, we think we mock our father. Look at him, he ain't worth nothing. We get a little strength, get a little power in our arms. We want to try to fight our daddy. Boy, you is crazy. And you disrespect your mama. I know when I was young, I used to see people cussing their mama out. What? Boy, is you crazy? In front of people. I could say if it was in private. They so disrespectful and have no honor for their parents. They doing it in public. And then you have World Star videos and things of that nature where you have sisters out there fighting their mama. And they think it's a good thing. Like I whooped her. You know what I'm saying? But the most I like, bro, I'm a killer. Because if you disrespect your parents, you're gonna disrespect the Most High. Yeah, that's just the way it is, because they're the example of authority down here for you. All right, you was a gift to them, but your parents are also a gift to you. It ain't the other way around. Like, they celebrating you on your birthday. You didn't do nothing to come here. Your mama worked hard to get you here. All right, don't nobody need to be celebrating you. You just another bad child that then came through. Like all of us, who was bad. All right, so crying all the time, changing diapers. All right, so let's go to Exodus. Let's go back to Exodus 17, bro. Exodus 20 and 17.
Yep. Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 13.
No, we're at 17. 20 and 17.
17, yeah, you're right. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Hold on, bro. I'm wrong. Am I wrong? 13, bro. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Oh, you're good. 13. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
All right, this is how we deal with our people. All right, we can't do this stuff to our people. It's wrong. All right, and then all these words are coming from the Most High on Mount Sinai. He's speaking to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
You can't be jealous of nothing that nobody else has. You have to be content with what you have. See, America has made us want what everybody else have. Like, if somebody has a printer that's better than yours, you're going to run and try to get a printer better than them. Better than what they have. But that person that stay beside you and you in their house and you looking at all this stuff that they have, they might have a bigger salary than you. You can't compete with them. You're going to go broke trying to have what they have. You know, and these people know you ain't got nothing. They know where you work. All right, and you know where they work. You have to be comfortable where you at. People will respect you if you don't covet what they have. All right, anybody can see somebody jealous from a mile away. All right, read it one more time. 17, my brother.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Go ahead.
Nor his manservant.
Nor his manservant.
Nor his maidservant.
Mm-hmm.
Nor his ox. Nor his donkey. Nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
You can't covet what somebody else has. That belongs to your neighbor. All right. You can't covet nobody's husband either. Just because it ain't said there, it's there. Whatever belongs to your neighbor, you can't covet. You can't come to my house and covet my love seat or my recliner. Oh, boy, I like this recliner. And then we go to sleep, somebody you done broke in and took it. Or when I go to your house, you done bought the best recliner in the world. Like, what is you doing? Like, bro, you ain't have to go that far. I'm just putting it out there. It ain't geared towards anybody or nothing like that. It's just, I'm looking at my recliner right now. All right. So, you read all that. Let's go to Matthew 22, verse 39 through 40.
Matthew 22 and 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All
right, so this is now Christ is encompassing all what we just read, all the other 6 commandments, the last 6. All right, which deals with which tell us how we're supposed to treat one another. All right, these are community laws. All right, go ahead.
On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. What? That's it.
All right. So love thy neighbor as thyself. All right. Did you read that part? All right. So we have to love each other as we love ourselves, because we won't steal from ourselves. All right. We won't kill ourselves. We won't bear false witness on ourselves. And we won't covet ourselves. We won't be jealous of ourselves. And we will not disrespect we won't disrespect our parents. So, you know what I mean? So you don't want nobody coming disrespecting your parents, so why would you go to somebody else's house and disrespect their house? You have to love the next person, that's the other people around you, like you love yourself. All right? You will not break the commandments against yourself. All right? So let's go back to Exodus. We're going to read Exodus chapter 18 through 20.
So the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Ahayah speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Ahayah is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
All right, so again, we read this in the past. This is what it's all about. All right, Ahayah came to us to prove us. I keep saying he came to us. Ahayah didn't come. He spoke on that mount, and he showed a glimpse, just a spigot of his power, and it scared the bejesus out of us. So when we told Moses, you go up there and you talk to him, we good. Like, if we talk to him, he gonna kill us. All right, that's how much sin the people must have had. They just felt so bad they couldn't even allow Ahayah to speak to them. They were scared. If our people would have never made that decision, Ahayah would still be speaking to us. Like, we didn't want to have counsel with the Most High because of how we were. Like, it's crazy, because if we would have never told Moses to do that, Ahayah would have still been. We would have went to Mount Sinai and got instructions as a people, as a whole. Like, it would still be happening, But we was like, we good, because if we do something wrong, he probably gonna strike all us dead. About 20,000 of us gonna fall. I know Sammy over there, but we done left Egypt. We've been gone from Egypt for a while. He's still doing that stuff out there. So we, in the best interest of Sammy, I'm gonna say, Moses, you go up there. Our people crazy. Instead of telling somebody they need to change, we helping them out. No, you not. You need to tell that brother to repent. All right. So let's go to Psalms 147, verses 19 through 20.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
He showeth his word unto Jacob,
Mm-hmm.
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
See, he ain't showed nobody else this. He showed it to us. So it's we must keep the commandments because that was an honor to have that. We must get that through our mind. All right, we're special because we the only people that he spoke to like that at the mountain. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High.
Praise ye the Most High. Not Moses, but David is saying, praise the Most High for giving us the law, statutes, and commandments and not giving them to nobody else. All right. So now we're going to go to Amos, chapter 3, verses 1 through 2. Verses 1 and 2, excuse me.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Hear this word that the Most High has spoken unto you, has spoken against you.
Against you, go ahead.
O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
all right.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Only you have I known. Go ahead.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So he's going to punish us for all our iniquities. All right. With great responsibility comes what? Because what? With great power, comes great responsibility. So when the Most High, when he told us how we're supposed to conduct ourselves, you got to understand, those laws came from Ahayah, from the heavens. This is major. We getting instructions from the heavens. Like you'll sit up there. Most people sit up there and watch the ancient aliens, and they'll marvel at those civilizations that got instruction from the quote unquote gods. All right, but don't marvel at what they read in the Bible. It's nuts. It's mind blowing. All right, that we'll watch that stuff and wish we were there. I would. It'd be nice if I could have been here and seen this. I would have loved to seen that, boy. But I see it in my mind though. So my faith in this right here would be counted even more when I stand before Ahayah, because I believe and I can actually believe what I'm reading. All right. So let's go to. So I think we're done with the civil law and the moral law. Now we're going to go to the dietary law. It's going to get a little interesting here. Best believe it. All right. So let's go to Leviticus 11. Leviticus 11. This chapter changed my life. Had a lot of people mad at me, saying, "You don't eat what? What you mean you don't eat that? Boy, you better when you get off the hog. Mog. I ain't never ate hog mogs. No chitlins. I knew something about them. I smelled them chitlins. I was like, I don't see how you do it. Fighting over chitlins. You ever seen the family fight over chitlins?
No, I don't think I ever seen them eat it. I ain't never eat it.
I done seen people fight over them things. Dang. All right, so we're gonna read Leviticus 1 through 8. All right, and then we're gonna go to 27. But we're gonna read about the beast of the field.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying,
all right, give them the commandments that I'm telling you.
These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof.
Whatever so parteth the hoof, I'm gonna give you plenty of pictures.
And is cloven footed.
And is cloven footed. Go ahead.
And cheweth the cud. Among the beasts that ye shall eat.
All right, so we can eat those. So it has to chew the cud, which is what? Grass. It has to have a clove foot. All right, and it has to divide the what? The cuff. All right. If it does that, then we can eat it. So basically, we can only eat herbivores. I can't get it.
Herbivores,
yeah. Or plant eaters. All right. Come on.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
So we can't eat the camel because it cheweth the cud and don't divide it the what?
The hoof.
The hoof. Go ahead.
He is unclean to you.
Uh-huh.
And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
All right, so we can't eat horses or donkeys either. Go ahead.
And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
So a hare is a bunny or a rabbit, or, a rodent like a squirrel or something like that. Go ahead.
And the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you.
All right, so of course everybody know that the pig is disgusting. All right, we know we're not supposed to eat the pig. All right, we've been, pretty much associating crazy folks or uneducated people. That those that associate their mouth with bacon and pork chops.
Yeah.
All right, like you got a pork chop eating pastor. You done heard that a whole lot of times from people that are conscious. They have no respect for people that's talking about this book and eating pork chops. All right, and then you got people that deal with Islam that eat what, camels. So you just as bad. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8.
Verse 8.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you.
All right, go to 27.
Verse 27. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws, among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you.
All right, so we can't eat what? We can't eat dogs. We can't eat dogs. All right, it's just the Most High just making it plain and simple. All right, so now we're going to go into the creatures that, water creatures that we can and cannot eat. We're going to verse 9.
Leviticus chapter
through 12.
Leviticus 11 verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales.
So whatsoever shall have what?
Fins and scales.
So what you eat in the water, it must have fins and scales. If it has fins but don't have scales, you can't eat it. If it has scales and don't have fins, you can't eat it. It has to have both. And means both. All right, no excuses. Go ahead.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
All right, it's plenty of fish out there with those characteristics. All right, keep going.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So that's an abomination. Abomination means what? Shrimp, crab, lobster. That's my favorite little jingle there. Mussels, scallops, shrimps. I already said that. Swordfish,
Catfish.
Catfish. What else out there? Eel, squid, octopus. All that. We ain't supposed to eat it. So unclean because they scavengers. All right, the Most High don't have to tell you everything. If you go out there and look, you will see why. Go study the creatures that you eating. Have you ever done it? Go ahead.
Verse 11. They shall even be an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination.
All right, so we ain't even supposed to touch it. Go ahead.
Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
All right, so now we're finna go into the birds. All right, so we're going to Leviticus 13 and 9 through 19.
Verse 13.
The 20, excuse me.
And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckow, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant,
yep,
and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle, and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat.
All right. These are all these birds eat what? They're like predators or scavengers. All right, keep going.
All fowls that creep, going upon all four, shall be an abomination unto you.
So what foul a bird walks on his hands and his feet? There's no bird like that. All right, there was no bird like that in the past. The only bird that walk on four is a bird that has what? 3 points of contact on their feet. What bird walks on all four? Ostrich. All right. And what? A chicken. They don't fly. A chicken will fly. It'll fly a little bit, but it has to come back down. It can't fly like a bird, like a regular bird. And the chicken will eat it. If a chicken die in the coop, they have to remove that chicken ASAP because the other chickens will kill it. They'll eat it. Even if it's sick, they'll tear them up. It'll be bones. All right. We don't eat chicken because it's unclean. Ever since we stopped eating chicken, and the brothers and sisters of PAMAA, it ain't that many of us right now. But those that are here, we haven't been. We stopped eating chicken like 2.5 years ago. I ain't been sick. I don't eat the meat of a chicken. Now, if something come around and it has, some eggs in it or something, I might eat it or whatever. But as far as eating the meat and cracking the egg open and eating it and consuming it and putting it in my body, like, no, I don't. No, sir. No, ma'am. And see, when it's crazy because the things that they promote to our people is chicken and pork and red lobster. You can buy all that in there. You get a whole entree with that on there. It's obvious, y'all. All right. So now we're gonna go into insects. Now, before we go there, since we're talking about verse 20, all right, you have a lot of camps out there that, what I'm saying right now, they'll be furious. Why are you so mad when this come out? Why are you mad? You want an excuse to continue to eat chicken? Chicken is that good that you can't quit eating it? All right, we it's obvious that somebody told a lie when they read that scripture right there in verse 20, because I remember when I first started, having an understanding for the truth, I was told that was a reptile. I was told that was a reptile. That's not a fowl is not a reptile. All right. A dinosaur has, it was spliced. So you can't, oh my, let me be quiet. Tripping. So it's okay. All right. So let's go to 21.
Yeah.
We go into insects. Y'all, we can eat insects. All right, we can eat insects. You can eat a beetle. If you hungry and you ain't got no food or you see a beetle, go ahead and eat that joker. How you say it's good? Go ahead, my brother.
Leviticus 11 and 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. That's 21.
Keep going.
Even these of them ye may eat. The locust after his kind.
The locust.
And the bald locust after his kind. And the beetle after his kind.
Yes.
And the grasshopper after his kind.
Never tasted one. But I'm telling you, if I'm out there and ain't no food out there, boy, I'm gonna be hunting me some crickets and some grasshoppers and some beetles. I'm gonna eat them things. All right. Go to 23, bro.
23. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you.
All right. So everything else is an abomination to us. All right. So let's go to
29. 33.
Yeah, 29. Yeah.
Okay. Verse 29. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. The weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind.
And the tortoise after his kind.
And the ferret.
And the ferret.
And the chameleon.
And the chameleon.
And the lizard. And the snail. And the mole. These are unclean to you, all that creep. Whosoever doeth touch them which they be dead when they be dead, shall be an abomination until the even, or shall be unclean until even.
Shall be unclean until the even. Now let's go to 41.
So verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly.
All right, so we ain't supposed to eat snakes or worms. All right, keep going.
And whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth.
All right, so we ain't supposed to eat spiders or anything with 6 legs. Yeah, man.
Then ye shall not eat.
All right.
For they are an abomination.
All right, so let's go to Leviticus 11. Not 11. Let's go to Leviticus 44.
Let me get 43.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, bro.
Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth. Neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. That's it.
All right, so when we decide to go off from what the Most High tell us concerning concerning the dietary laws, when we go off it, like this stuff, this is why we have cancer and we have diabetes and we have hypertension and high blood pressure. It's because we eating things that we're allergic to. The Most High created He created Adam. All right, so He knows exactly what Adam needs to survive. And you are Adam. You're a man. You're mankind. So the Most High told us what we cannot eat as far as animals. If we do it, it'll help us live longer. All right, so you have people out there that don't eat meat at all. Hey, more power to you. But if you're gonna eat meat or you're gonna eat creation as far as, I can't even say living, breathing animals or whatever. Well, yeah, organisms, because people say organism, living, breathing organisms. Cause you can't say that because a plant is a living, breathing organism. All right, but at the same time, eat what's in these what's in Leviticus 11 that you can't eat, and you won't have cancer and things of that nature. All right, you can pray over it, and the Most High, if there's poisons in it, the Most High he'll make sure that you don't get sick. You can't pray over a pork chop sandwich or some chitlins and think that you're not gonna get sick. You're gonna get the Most High looking at you like this joker. Didn't He say if you don't keep His commandments, you're an abomination? Not your sins, but your prayers shall be abominable. All right, brother. Go to Jeremiah 44 and 4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
All right, so Most High hates abominations. He hates the abominable. All right, go ahead. You done with it?
Yep.
All right, so let's go to Revelations 21 and 27.
Book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 27. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination.
So what?
Neither whatsoever worketh abomination.
So we believe that we shouldn't keep the commandments, but we're looking at Revelations right now, and this is in the New Testament, and it's telling us what shall not enter into the kingdom. Those that work abominations. All right. Those that are filthful. But abomination is what we're dealing with right now. When you eat unclean food, you are an abomination. When you're dealing with homosexuality and bestiality, you are an abomination. So when you putting pork and you putting chicken, all that type of stuff in your body, you ain't no better than the LGBT community. You the same. There's no difference between you. You're all abominable. You're an abomination, my friend. Go ahead.
And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
All right, so they that are written in the Lamb's book of life. All right, go to 21 and 7. Read that.
Revelations 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things.
See, he that overcometh shall inherit all things. Go ahead.
And I will be his power,
Mm-hmm.
and he shall be my son.
And he shall be what I shall be his power, and he shall be my son. That's Ahayah speaking now. Go ahead.
But the fearful,
But who?
but the fearful,
Go ahead.
and unbelieving,
And the unbelieving,
and the abominable,
and the abominable. There we go again. Go ahead.
and murderers,
And murderers,
and
and
whoremongers,
whoremongers,
and sorcerers,
and sorcerers.
and idolaters,
Go ahead.
and all liars
Mm.
shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
So you mean to tell me the meats that you love so much are that important that you willing to burn in a lake of fire for it? I don't think. It wasn't that important to me. I was willing to give it up. Had to give it up. All right. I'm scared of hell.
Oh yeah.
I'm really scared of the lake of fire.
Sheesh.
Yeah, boy.
Bring it out, boy. Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out.
Ooh, that thing break.